The original Ninja Turtles cartoon was a big pop culture milestone of the late 80s that ran straight through to the middle of the 1990s. In fact, it had such a huge influence on popular culture that you can still see merchandise of this particular incarnation of the brand today. Take that, 4Kids Ninja Turtles! Ha 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 ha! And being such a huge cash cow franchise back in its prime, there were of course video games. And not just your average LJN rush job, we're talking about some of the most beloved beat-em-ups of all time. The Turtles arcade game, the Manhattan Project, Hyperstone Heist, and of course, Turtles in Time. Tribute and .mu have developed an all-new Turtles beat-em-up in the style of the old Konami classics. The plot revolves around the bad guys trying to retrieve pieces of Krang's body, much like how they were after Zero's body parts in Mega Man X2. All the while, Shredder has plans to victimize the Statue of Liberty yet again. So, is Shredder's Revenge any good? Put simply, yes. This game is incredible. It not only revives the Turtles beat-em-up formula, but improves it in every possible way. The gameplay is classic, moving right and knocking the shit out of everyone in your way. The controls are very responsive. Grabbing enemies and throwing them at the screen is even easier than it was in the classics. Attacking enemies has such a smooth feel to it that you'll easily be racking up huge combos. You also have a dodge button letting you backflip out of the way if you see an attack coming. You can also press the attack button right after a dodge to perform a counter-attack. All of the enemies and bosses have easily read patterns, so every time you get hit, you have no one to blame but yourself. The two main gameplay modes are Story Mode and Arcade Mode. Both have the same levels and characters, but Story Mode features an overworld map in the style of Super Mario World, allowing you to revisit stages, look for collectibles for supporting characters, and change your character between levels. Arcade Mode has online multiplayer with up to 6 players. It even rewards cooperation by giving you a chance to revive your allies when you run out of health without losing any lives. It brings back that old school arcade pastime, where you can cooperate with 5 total strangers to overcome the game's challenges. Which brings us to another novelty of Shredder's Revenge. April and Splinter are now playable characters. Do you remember in the series how April was always the damsel in distress and getting kidnapped every few episodes? Well, she's taken a few martial arts lessons and finally learned self-defense. Apparently from the First Lady of Capcom. While this is indeed a great development for the character, I don't think Mr. Thompson will take kindly to such reckless use of studio equipment. I'm pretty sure that camera she's flailing around will be coming out of her wage packet. Having said that, I do appreciate all the care and attention that went into the sprite work. Even the 4 turtles weren't just palette swaps of each other. They each have unique animations for their dashing attacks, their taunts, and their victory poses. Most of the supporting characters from the cartoon make appearances, like the staff of Channel 6 News, the Neutrinos, and the Punk Frogs. There's even a blink and you miss cameo from Thompson's bit on the side from the first episode of Season 2. The music is excellent. In addition to some outstanding original tracks, some of which have actual lyrics, there's mixes of familiar tracks from Turtles in Time. There's also a few more cues from the original TV series, such as the Lair theme. It really brings you back to the good old days of watching our hero slagging off Shredder over a few slices of pizza. But the biggest fan service the game has to offer is the voice cast. The 4 turtles and a few of the villains are each voiced by their original voice actors from the 1980s cartoon series.
So what now, fearless leader?
Oh man, I just fixed the party wagon.
Krang's legs are going to the museum?
Looks like another victory for the forces of good.
Oh, Leonardo, don't ever stop being such a pompous git. So, does the game do anything wrong? Unfortunately, yes it does. I have encountered a few glitches. I have the game on Switch, so I don't know if this is an issue for the other systems, but there's been a handful of times when the program abruptly had to close because of errors. This once happened after I'd beaten a level in story mode. Thankfully my progress was saved and I was able to pick up where I left off, but the fact that this even happened in the first place was a big issue. What if this happened in arcade mode when you can't save? There's also been a couple of times when the go arrow appears, but the screen just won't scroll. This happened in one of the Dimension X levels. The screen wouldn't move until I started blindly flailing at the walls and hit an enemy that was off screen. This even happened after the boss fight against Baxter Stockman. The screen isn't supposed to move after that, it's supposed to end the level. That arrow has as much reason to be there as the Turtles in Time title has on the 3rd live-action film. These glitches put a big downer on something that was nearly perfect. Which is a shame because you can tell that the people who made this game had a genuine love for the source material. Unlike the dickheads who wrote this self-indulgent atrocity. The developers of Shredder's Revenge really went above and beyond with the artwork, the music, the fan service, and just about the best combat system in any beat-em-up I've ever played. So my final score for Shredder's Revenge is a 10-slice pizza that the Turtles have gifted to April.
Michelangelo!
Sorry, dudes. If you like 90s era beat-em-ups, you'll love this game, even if you're not a fan of the Ninja Turtles for some bizarre reason.
Some mutants are just plain weird, you know?
The only thing stopping this game from achieving perfection are the game-breaking glitches we've talked about, but we live in an age where games can be patched, debugged and updated even after their official release. So if some sunny day there's a patch that fixes these bugs, I'll have no problem giving this game a well-deserved 10 out of 10.